They called it the war to end evil, the moment humanity drew a line and stepped over it anyway. Cities burned, flags rose, and the world cheered victory, while shadows whispered beneath the smoke. For every parade, there was a pit. For every hero, an experiment. For every triumph, a truth too heavy to remember. Because the war that ended evil also perfected it. But maybe the war's legacy isn't only destruction. From its ashes came medicine that saved millions, rockets that reached the stars, machines that learned to think, and nations that vowed to never burn the world again. Factories once building bombers forged the first computers. Scientists once studying death discovered the chemistry of life. The same minds that split the atom would one day power our cities and light the darkness above the earth. From the rubble of Europe, a signal rose into space. Satellites, silent and watching, orbiting a planet that once tore itself apart. So we have to ask, can something born in atrocity still carry hope? To understand this strange legacy, we need to step inside the engine of war itself. World War II wasn't just a battlefield. It was the largest laboratory ever built. A place where progress was measured, not in lives saved, but in efficiency of destruction. Radar taught us to see the invisible. Penicillin turned infection from death sentence to inconvenience. Jet engines redefined speed. Nuclear physics taught us to split the world in half. Historians call it the acceleration point of modernity, a time when curiosity was chained to conflict. War became a teacher, fire as instructor, chaos as curriculum. Every explosion whispered new equations. Every corpse became a data point. Scientists spoke the language of urgency. Physicists, chemists, and engineers became priests of a new religion, efficiency. One researcher later wrote, "Knowledge was a weapon, and the world became its testing ground." In that era, discovery was parasitic, feeding on suffering to grow stronger. Innovation wasn't born in peace. It was extracted from panic. Psychologists would later find that conflict rewires the human mind, turning fear into focus and necessity into invention. War was a parasite, and we were its brilliant, obedient hosts. War does something strange to time. In peace, progress walks. In war, it sprints. What should take decades happens in months, because in chaos, research becomes survival. Every failure costs lives. Every success buys another day. The laboratories of World War II weren't just rooms of glass and steel. They were emergency rooms for entire nations. Fear became a kind of fuel. Deadlines were measured in casualties. And so, a feedback loop began. Destruction demanded discovery. Discovery made destruction more efficient. Each breakthrough feeding the next atrocity. The jet engine chased the bomber. The radar hunted the submarine. The atom split to stop a war, and in doing so, taught us how to end the world. Psychologists later mapped this cycle, a brutal equation of progress. The more we fear, the faster we learn. Fear sharpens focus. Crisis reorganizes priorities. Under pressure, humanity becomes brilliant and blind. World War II taught us its most dangerous lesson, that we evolve fastest when terrified. The war ended, but its inventions didn't. In quiet laboratories, the scientists who once saved nations began to fear what they had built. Men who split the atom spent their lives trying to contain it. Others who perfected propaganda watched it turn into culture. The world moved on, but the war never truly stopped. It just changed its name. Propaganda became advertising. Espionage became surveillance. Weapons became industries. And soldiers were replaced by algorithms trained to predict desire. An entire generation was raised inside the architecture of war. Television, mass media, the military-industrial complex. Systems designed to control, now disguised as entertainment and security. Then came the nuclear age, the uneasy peace of mutual destruction. A balance built not on trust, but on the certainty that no one could win. The Cold War, the space race, the birth of computing and the internet, all ghosts of the same global fever. Every advance tracing back to the crucible of 1945. And now, our species stands on the threshold of something vast and fragile. Artificial intelligence, genetic editing, autonomous weapons, technologies born from that same wartime code. Innovate or die. We won the war and inherited the ability to erase the world. Maybe humanity needed the shock to grow, or maybe We simply got lucky. Perhaps there was no destiny, only desperate choices made by frightened people, each believing they were saving the world. The truth is, there were no simple heroes, no pure villains, only humans, inventive, terrified, extraordinary humans, caught inside a storm they built themselves. History isn't morality, it's memory, a mirror polished by time, reflecting both our brilliance and our blindness. We learned how to split the atom, but not how to unmake the fear that drove us to. And so we stand here, children of both genius and guilt, looking back at the fire that forged us. Can progress ever be innocent again? What this means is, we are the children of catastrophe, and the architects of everything that came after. The fire that nearly ended us also lit the path we walk today. From the ruins of war came cooperation, from fear came understanding, from destruction, the knowledge to protect, to heal, to explore. Perhaps this is humanity's paradox. Our greatest horrors and our brightest hopes are born from the same spark, the need to survive, to create meaning from chaos. We can't erase what we've done, but we can choose what we become. The same ingenuity that built bombs can build bridges between stars. The same intelligence that crafted war machines can cure disease, feed worlds, and extend life beyond this one. History may never be innocent again, but maybe that's the point. Because innocence forgets, wisdom remembers. And as long as we remember the lesson of that terrible fire, the weight of what it cost, then maybe, just maybe, we've already begun to win the only war that truly matters, the one against ourselves.